All right, welcome to Dr. Phonez at the Forum. Today we're gonna cover a very close to our hearts video is older relatives' phones infected with viruses. Exhibit A. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna talk about what are the main culprits that causes these viruses. How do they get on the phone? We're gonna do our best to try to prevent them, but the problem is, I can provide a couple suggestions. However, it might have to be a one-on-one conversation with the relative because what it does is it restricts the person's ability to do whatever they want on their phone, and I don't want that to lead to any intrications within the relationship, which I can tell you from personal experience. So let's go ahead and highlight what are the number one culprits. Number one, it always starts with these games. Now, this mostly affects people that have Android phones. So if you have an elder relative, my first suggestion would be is do not get them on a Samsung, get them on an Apple. Apple is more secure and they pretty much take out any applications that have any malware in it. They're very diligent about it. So if you want to avoid these problems, get them on an Apple and a lot of this will go away, I promise you. Okay, so from here, here's how it starts. They get a game. Solitaire is very popular. Pretty much, it seems harmless. You're playing the game, and then suddenly a little pop-up will appear at the bottom or at the top, and the person go, "Gas! There's something wrong with my phone." Click. It's like catnip. So they'll click on it. So what ends up happening is they will go and they will start installing because they start panicking without you noticing. They start panicking these little cleaner apps right here, especially Pro Cleaner, Cleaner Junk, Cleanup. They always tend to have like a broom. And then right here, here's a spoof Starbucks app. I think it's a spoof Starbucks app, but it is possible because you start seeing little ads popping up. But anything with cleaning, it would immediately infest the phone. And then what it will start doing is it will start pushing out a lot of fake ads. It will start doing fake alerts for fake notifications. It would also start doing, come back up, please. Fake notification, excessive app, deceptive results. So we'll pretend that we'll scan your phone and it say your phone is infected. You must install this now. So people go, okay, no, download it because they're panicking that their phone is freaking out, which is pretty much their life line to the outside world. But right here, it pretty much it starts giving them deceptive results, data collection. So it will start collecting their data in the background. And unfortunately, if you have a lot of relatives that are older, like I do, a lot of them, they don't understand the technology. It's not saying I'm not being ageist. It's just that this is stuff that a lot of them, this is new. The technology is constantly aging and or changing. And they don't understand that things that, they're very trusting. I guess is the best word that I could put it. Very trusting. So anytime they see a warning, they go, "This is my device. I trust my device. So anything my device tells me must be true." Thus ending up on the phone, having malware installed into it, and then causing problems. And at the worst case scenario, getting into their bank accounts or having their bank accounts bled out, which I've had to deal with in the past. Because a lot of these will say, "Hey, we'll give you a subscription to clean up your phone for $2.99." They don't understand that it's a low entry rate and it will jack up to like $30-$40 and it starts slowly bleeding their bank account, or even worse, start taking more money out of their bank account and you end up with a fraud case. The one main thing I will say, if you can talk to your relative and they're reasonable, is tell them do not install these apps. Do not install these apps. If you can, try to set up a separate phone just for games, and then make sure that you restrict the main phone so that way they cannot install additional apps to it. I know it's very difficult, but if you can, that's one way to go about it. The other way is to try to put the child protection where it just looks like it's like a child's phone where you can only they can only have what they have on their phone. They can't buy things. They can't shop things. But that's the worst case scenario. Plus, it has a app. It has a location tracker. I had relatives who suffer from dementia, and I have to make sure I knew where they were at all times. So if maybe that might be a suggestion that I would, consider. But again, keep in mind the second you start putting the child's safety on, it restricts the phone. So they cannot buy anything online. They cannot download any apps unless they got your permission. It's like you're literally dealing with a phone for a child. So if you have someone that's fully conscious, that might not be the best solution for that. And I would again consider just getting them an Apple phone, because that will resolve a lot of those problems. Now, how do we resolve this? Okay, so you could try by going one by one and uninstalling. Be the first step if you're able to. Now, I will tell you this: some of these phones say they will do their best to keep you from uninstalling them. They will try to make sure that you don't install. So this time around was pretty easy. I've had to reset this phone multiple times in the past. And so far, it's not giving me a lot of headaches. We can see right here, this one is trying to give me a hard time. You go away. Okay. And you want to start by doing that if possible. So this is the lowest, the easiest way to do this. You start by doing this part right here. Okay, so we're going to wait a minute. We're going to see these ads are popping up. And you're mostly trying to see when you try to navigate. Okay, that seemed to have partially resolved the problem. Let me see, anything else? Oh. Okay, let's on here, settings. Let me turn the Wi-Fi on. Please give me a second. Okay, and it's not until you turn the Wi-Fi on that you start seeing all these ads popping up everywhere. Let's see what it does. I just returned the Wi-Fi back on. See what it does. Okay, so I've seemed to have ebbed some of the problems. What page? Yeah, see, you got all these spamware, and they're just opening tabs in the background. Yep, see, there it is. Okay, this means it's still full of malware. So at this point, the safest option is, and the good part is that she doesn't have a lot of like major files or stuff on her phone. She's just someone who likes her phone and tried to pretty much play games on it, and then look for cooking recipes or play the. By the way, any app that promise you they're gonna pay you for playing their game is more than likely malware and bad actors. So that's another conversation you should have with your older relative, that they're not real. And if they try to get access to any of your banking account, and PayPal is a banking account, you should really tell them, please don't do that. You are at risking yourself to be scammed. And unfortunately, there are times that it has to happen in order for folks to get it. But that's the world we live in. Okay, so let's head over here. Okay, so far, let's try back here. Go to Chrome. Okay, so let's see what we got on here. Close. Close. Good lord. See, that's all spam. Okay, I'm trying to go with the easiest way to. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Close all tabs. Yep, close all tabs. Close them. Okay. That might be also another thing that might be causing issues to their phone. They might have tabs in the background that have malware. Right now I'm trying to see if this helps. So far it's just doing its own thing. Nice. Now, what is the best case scenario here? The worst case scenario. So as you can see, I removed all the suspicious apps, all the cleaning apps already. And the best thing that you might have to do at this point is that you might have to reset the phone. So you simply go to your settings. And by the way, that's something else that these apps do. They try to make sure that they just funk your phone so bad. They just really just gunk it up. It's really hard for you to get to your settings. So right here, all you have to do, let me go back. You hit your settings. There's your front page. Go all the way down. This is on an Android, by the way. and then you go to general management. Under management and general management, you go to reset. Under reset, you can do temporary cloud, you can do all these, but the problem is that with these, so if I do temporary cloud, a lot of folks when they set up stuff, it's if I do a temporary cloud right now, it will bring the malware over, and that's the problem. If you already have malware and you didn't back up your important stuff, it's already too late. So the best thing that I suggest for most folks to do at this point is to, if your relative doesn't have a Gmail, which is a Samsung, it runs on Google. Okay. So if you have a Samsung, it's mostly Google operated. So the good part is their contacts and their photos should be back up in that Google account. Okay. So before you wipe the phone, go to log into their that Gmail account or that Google account. Go under Google Contacts, make sure their contacts have been backed up there, and make sure their photos have been backed up there, because that's normally the two main things people will lose when you wipe their phone. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, and then there's external storage, which again, we don't want to do because the phone is already compromised. We don't want to bring that malware with us. And then what we want to do is a data reset. You could try to do reset all settings, but as you can see, there's the malware popping back up, and it's very annoying. And what it does is, see, it opens a new window and it takes you to a page where it's a bunch of bad actors, and this is just spamware. See, it's trying to get you to turn on the stuff. So if you're used to dealing with this, yeah, so you try to go back to the page, come back up, data reset, factory reset, and you're going to lose everything straight up. All data will be erased from your phone, including Google accounts, systems, data, settings, download apps, music, pictures, all other data, services provider apps, all the decryption. Now, this is very important. If they have an authentication app on their phone, okay, make sure you have a way to transfer that out, or at least take a picture of the QR code before you reset the phone, because what ends up happening is that if the authenticator is on the phone and then you wipe it and it requires for you to have your accounts, your authenticator to log in, now you're completely locked out of all your stuff. So make sure if you have an authenticator, whether it's on Microsoft or a Google one or whichever you're using, make sure you find out how to migrate that out so you can re-put it back on your phone after you reset your phone. But if you try to do it after the facts, it's a little too late at that point. Okay, so I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go to the bottom. It's going to reset a bunch of her accounts. And for this part, you're going to need their code. It's kind of hard to type, and it's going to ask you, you sure you want to reset it? Delete all, and you're going to delete everything on the seek. Even as it's shutting down and it's wiping out, it is trying to be deceitful. I said clean up now. Do not clean your phone. Memory full. Blah blah blah. So this is what I was talking about. Those type of devious messagings, clean up now. And unfortunately, they're very effective. So if you have older relatives that they don't know how to use their technology well, have these conversations with them. It is very, 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 very important. And if they don't believe you, you can also go online. This is something that I kind of learned that is very efficient. Go online and try to find some print media from a reliable source and hand that over to them, and they might be able to listen to you at that point. Okay, so here we are. We're rewiping the phone from scratch, ground zero, and I already have access to their Gmail. I know their logins and all that stuff, so I'll be able to start the phone from scratch, and then at that point, I'll be able to transfer it to a brand new phone, which is going to be an Apple phone, which is more resilient to viruses and bad actors because they have a very secure system. So again, my main suggestion is if you have older relatives, make sure you set them up from a Samsung, push them to an Apple. Now this is very important. Do not set them up only with biometrics and only with facial recognition. I recently was assisting someone that all their credentials was only biometrics, and then they accidentally locked themselves out of their Apple account. they lost their Apple account, and dealing with Apple, it is very, very difficult because there's no people. So make sure you set up password, and you also set up if you want to biometrics, but I will highly suggest to have a password book, a secure password book, and keep it safe. So that way, if they get locked out, they have way to retrieve out of retrieve their Apple account. So make sure you do that before you set up Apple stuff. All right, we are resetting the phone, and it's gonna take a minute. Gonna take a minute. Ta-da! Welcome. Brand new phone, fresh, malware free, and ready to go. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us here at Dr. Phones at the Forum. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. We'll keep trying to bring this type of unique content to you guys in the future. As you can see, we're building up our arsenal of very useful videos for our customers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys at Dr. Phones at the Forum. Y'all have a beautiful day.